Hi guys, welcome to another audio video, and I'll be reading Numbers 21 of the King James Version Bible. And it reads, And when King Arad the Canaanite, which dwelt in the south, heard tell that Israel came by the way of the spies, then he fought against Israel and took some of them prisoners. And Israel vowed a vow unto the Lord, and said, If thou wilt indeed deliver this people into my hand, then I will utterly destroy their cities. And the Lord hearkened to the voice of Israel, and delivered up the Canaanites, and they utterly destroyed them and their cities, and he called the name of the place Ormah. And they journeyed from Mount Hor by the way of the Red Sea to compass the land of Edom. And the soul of the people was much discouraged because of the way. And the people spake against God and against Moses, Wherefore have ye brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? For there is no bread, neither is there any water, and our soul loatheth this light bread. And the Lord sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and much people of Israel died. Therefore the people came to Moses and said, We have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord and against thee. Pray unto the Lord, and that he take away the serpents from us. And Moses prayed for the people. And the Lord said unto Moses, Make thee a fiery serpent, and set it upon a pole, and it shall come to pass that every one that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live. And Moses made a serpent of brass, and put it upon a pole. And it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived. And the children of Israel set forward and pitched in Oboth. And they journeyed from Oboth and pitched in Hijiabarim. In the wilderness which is before Moab, toward the sunrising. For thence they removed and pitched in the valley of Zered. From thence they removed and pitched on the other side of Arnon, which is in the wilderness that cometh out of the coast of the Amorites. For Arnon is the border of Moab between Moab and the Amorites. Wherefore it is said in the book of the wars of the Lord, what he did in the Red Sea and in the brooks of Arnon, and at the stream of the brooks that goeth down to the dwelling of Ar, and lieth upon the border of Moab. And from thence they went to Beher, that is the well whereof the Lord spake unto Moses, Gather the people together, and I will give them water. Then Israel sang this song, Spring up, O well, sing ye unto it. The princes digged the well, the nobles of the people digged it, by the direction of the lawgiver with their staffs, and from the wilderness they went to Mattanah, and from Mattanah to Nahaliel, and from Nahaliel to Bamoth, and from Bamoth in the valley that is in the country of Moab to the top of Pisgah, which looketh toward Jeshimon. And Israel sent messengers unto Sihon, king of the Amorites, saying, Let me pass through thy land. We will not turn into the fields or into the vineyards. We will not drink of the waters of the well, but we will go along by the king's highway until we be past thy borders. And Sihon would not suffer Israel to pass through his border. But Sihon gathered all his people together and went out against Israel into the wilderness, and he came to Jahaz, and fought against Israel. And Israel smote him with the edge of the sword, and possessed his land from Arnon unto Jabbok. even unto the children of Ammon. For the border of the children of Ammon was strong. And Israel took all these cities, and Israel dwelt in all the cities of the Amorites, in Heshbon, and in all the villages thereof. For Heshbon was the city of Sihon, the king of the Amorites, who had fought against the former king of Moab, and taken all his land out of his hand, even unto Arnon. Wherefore they that speak in Proverbs say, Come into Heshbon, let the city of Sihon be built and prepared. Sihon or Sihon, whichever one. For there is a fire gone out of Heshbon, a flame from the city of Sihon. It hath consumed Ar of Moab, and the lords of the high places of Arnon. Woe to thee, Moab! Thou art undone, O people of Chemosh. He hath given his sons that escaped and his daughters into captivity unto Sihon, king of the Amorites. We have shot at them. Heshbon is perished, even unto Dibon. And we have laid up waste, even unto Nophah, which reacheth unto Medeba. Thus Israel dwelt in the land of the Amorites, and Moses sent to spy out Jahazer, and they took the villages thereof, and drove out the Amorites that were there. And they turned and went up by the way of Bashan, and Og the king of Bashan went out against them, he and all his people, to the battle at Edrei. And the Lord said unto Moses, Fear him not, for I have delivered him into thy hand, and all his people and his land, and thou shalt do to him as thou didst unto Sihon, king of the Amorites, which dwelt at Heshbon. So they smote him and his sons and all his people, until there was none left him alive, and they possessed his land. Alright guys, this chapter, it shows people actually, the children of Israel actually coming against real adversity, where others don't want them to pass by, and others are seeking to come against them. And we see where the Lord is protecting them. Can you believe it? The Lord is protecting these stiff-necked people, these people that Moses had termed stiff-necked, these people who have actually spoke against God so many times, who have rebelled against God so many times. He still protects them. He still causes no one outside to harm them. And that goes to say a lot. It goes to say a lot. As long as you are a child of God, He will protect you from all outside risk, all outside enemies. But you need all external enemies. He'll protect you from them. But you need to protect yourself internally, right? And I'm not talking about literally. I'm talking about something much deeper. So God will protect you from the external battles in life. He will safeguard you against every dart from the enemy that the enemy may throw at you. He'll protect you against them. But you yourself have to protect yourself internally. You have to guard your heart. You have to guard your soul. You have to guard your mind. Guard your mind. Guard your soul. Guard your heart. And God will be the one to guard your external environment. Okay? He will protect you from every outside threat there is that will come your way. He'll put up a shield of protection around you. But you need to do your work and protect yourself internally. If you realize he kills from within, if they go against his will, he will smite them down. He will cause a plague to come upon them. So they're the ones that have failed him and rebelled against him. So they were protecting themselves internally because they sinned against him. And so he had to correct that. He had to issue out and deal out a punishment for that. But he does not cause any outside parties to inflict harm upon the children of Israel. And that speaks volumes. And that is just saying to us that we also need to guard ourselves, right? We need to protect ourselves, okay? We need to search ourselves inside, okay? We need to keep our hearts steadfast on God. Check ourselves, evaluate, do a self-evaluation, and ask God to purify us from within, to clean us, to wash us with hyssop. Purify us, make us new creatures in Him. Because He's already protecting us from all the external threats, all the external battles that we have dealing with, but we need to protect ourselves, our hearts, and guard our hearts and our souls, because He gave us free will, and so we ought to protect ourselves. In that regard, He will deal with all the external factors there are, all the external warfare coming at us. He'll help us, He'll shield us, He'll protect us, but we need to guard ourselves, okay, from within. Alright guys, that was the revelation I got from this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get kind of carried away. And it's not really per se me, but the Spirit leading me. So forgive me in that regard. But I have to do what the Lord bid me to do. Okay? Alright guys. Alright, so please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification so you're alerted to whenever a new video is posted. I don't know when God is gonna speak to you through me. I don't know what word God is gonna give me. I don't know when, where, how. I just allow Him to use me, and I really do hope that if He uses me to give you a word, well, I don't have to hope. I know that He'll work out everything so that you're here when your word is being given, and you'll receive it when you ought to receive it. And so I just want to thank Him for that in advance. And I'm telling you to do your part also, okay? Because sometimes it's not even a word just for you. Probably it's a word for someone else, and you will actually pass that word along to someone else. But do as the Spirit leads, okay? Alright guys, have yourselves a blessed day until the next audio video. I love you. Take care of yourself, and don't forget to pray up yourself, read your Bible, and just garner that relationship with God. Have yourself a blessed day. Bye.